Okay guys, Tony Hayes here, and I've got a really good system here that I'd want you to take a look at, and it's for creating webinars. And the beauty of this is it's a system that's built by marketers for marketers, and you can get it at a one-time price. Okay, now let's talk about the price before we go further, just so that you can see the value and know the value of what we're doing here. Because if we go to the GoToWebinar, which is like the most common webinar platform out there, you can see in UK pounds it's £159 per month for 500 participants. Okay, that's about $99 for the starter one. It's about $199, I would imagine, for this pro version here. And here, for like 1,000 participants, it's going to be near $400, etc. Now, that is really crazy prices for what this particular piece of software does. And it's doing nothing more. In fact, it's actually doing less than what we can do with HQWebinar, which I just happen to have a reseller license for. Now, reseller license allows me to sell full commercial licenses for the full system for HQWebinar at any price that I see fit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a one-time lifetime price on it, so that you don't have to pay monthly ever again for any webinar softwares. Now, most of my colleagues and most of the people I know are the marketers. They are using GoToWebinar. Most of them are paying something like $197 per month. Over a year, that works out to over $1,200, or to about $1,200 per year. Okay, so if you can get something, a system that you pay one time for lifetime, that gives you unlimited seats, it doesn't even limit the amount of seats that you've got here. You can get unlimited seats, and you can get a whole bunch more features than what you could ever get in GoToWebinar. Then you've got a deal that is definitely worth paying attention to. Another one here for Webinar Ninja. It's a little bit less expensive per month. You can get a starter for $39 per month. Pro version $79 per month. But again, there's some limitations on the webinar attendees. Okay, we have unlimited webinar attendees with this commercial license. So what is different about HQWebinar, and why should you consider it? Well, first of all, let's talk about why webinars, because webinars themselves are a great way for making money. Okay, they're a great way for generating affiliate commissions. They're a great way for selling your own products. They're a great way for building sort of trust, and they're great for lead generation as well, if you're doing anything like from local marketing, etc. What you can do with webinars in 1 hour, you know, it could take you weeks to do with email marketing, with product launch promotions and stuff like that. Okay, you might be able to do some email marketing to get some affiliate commissions, and you make a few $100s here and there. I have done 5-figure webinars without any effort, and I tell you why it's without any effort. If you have the audience built up, or if you build your audience up from using traffic from Facebook ads or YouTube ads, etc., it's all very doable for not a lot of money to fill your webinar up, and you have a very good presenter on your webinar who's selling something. Literally all you're doing is hosting it, and that person is presenting information about his product. Okay, that gives you one of the easiest hands-free ways to make money online. Believe me, I've sat in a webinar in the background just listening and watching, and at the end of it, you know, we put the offer out. I put together some kind of bonus for that particular webinar. By the end of that webinar, we've done several $1,000s in sales. Okay, several $1,000s in commissions, and all I did was sit and listen. After I drove the traffic to that particular webinar registration page, introduced the webinar, helped them to close the webinar, asked a couple of questions that were coming in from attendees of that webinar, and that just gave me that opportunity then, that I was making money because I had set this up. And that is not hard to do at all. It's very quick and very easy to do, because there's a whole bunch of people out there who want to sell their products. If you can prove to them that you can drive the traffic, whether it's coming from an email list, whether it's coming from Facebook marketing, whether it's coming from paying some paid ads, low-cost ads, retargeting, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google AdWords, etc. If you can fill that webinar with 200 people or even 100 people, you're going to get the big guys' attentions, because they know that when you do your email marketing, your follow-up from that, you're going to make even more sales. So Having a webinar system that costs you one time is great. Having a webinar system that gives you unlimited seats is even better, but there's some really specific features that comes with HQ Webinar that I've never seen with any other webinar system. For example, you can run paid webinars as well, so you can actually charge people to attend your webinar, and you have that choice when you're setting up your webinar, which takes about 5 minutes, just filling in a few fields: the name of your webinar, the metadata, the description, some tags, what time was your webinar, who is hosting your webinar with you, etc., who's presenting. Once you set that up, it's about 5 minutes. Once you know what you're doing, when you get used to the particular platform, the forms, etc., to fill in to set up your webinar, then you can choose some options. Okay, you can put in there some calls to action to appear at different times in the webinar. You can choose to charge for the webinar, or you do a free webinar. You can put some documents in, you can add some polls to the webinar as well. But what's really powerful about HQ Webinar as well is that it's built on blockchain technology. So if any server goes down, it immediately switches to another server, so the webinar never ever crashes. In fact, I've only had a webinar crashed only one time using this, and it was nothing to do with HQ Webinar. It was actually my electricity here in Thailand went out for about 1 second. But that's all it takes to drop, what you're doing when you're online, and you have to wait for the internet to come back again. That was the only time. The actual system itself has never, ever let me down, and it's such a fantastic system. You can see I've run multiple webinars in here with this system, and I will continue to do so as well. The other thing about this is that it's a 2.0 version. So this was released last year, which is great to see that they've been maintaining it. They have got a very, very active Facebook group. They're listening to the customers, getting feedback from the customers, and they're implementing stuff from their customers as well. So all of that is really, really good and very, very positive going forward. So what you can do with this is that you can also set up some webinars for people to watch a pre-recorded webinar where they come in and set a time that they want to watch. You can give them different time zones or different times that they can watch it. You can do follow-up email marketing automated to remind them when the webinar is starting. Or you can run webinars on demand. So a pre-recorded webinar, you can say to them, you can actually set it that it's going to show a countdown timer of 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And so that person doesn't have to wait until a specific time, like 3 p.m. tomorrow or something, to see the webinar. They can actually see it in 2 minutes time. Okay, gives them time to go and get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, come back, and the countdown's counted down and is ready to start. Okay, you can also run live webinars like this, with this, like you will be able to do with other webinar systems like GoToWebinar. So you can set that up and you can build up a buzz. You've got the automated autoresponder in the background that's emailing reminders 48 hours out, 24 hours out, 4 hours out, 1 hour before the webinar, and you can increase that and add more to it if you choose. And you can do the same after the webinar as well to email your replay. It's also got a little system for landing pages, etc. I don't particularly use that system. I've got better landing page technology on my blog, which I can use, that I know converts very, very well, those landing pages. But it's there if you don't have that ability, you don't have a blog with some other lead generation kind of webinar templates, etc. Okay, there's a whole bunch of really, really unique stuff. You can let people see the chat as it's happening. You can make some fake chats if you really want to do that kind of thing. I don't like to do that, but it's there if you want to run some simulated chats to make it look like there's a lot of people live on a webinar when it's really pre-recorded, and they would never ever know. And you can do a whole bunch of very, very cool things like add some multimedia, you can add some PDFs, you can add some reminders for your attendees, and you can even ask them to do some social media sharing from right inside the webinar system so that they can share that webinar before it starts, or even during the start of the webinar, or even send out messages from the webinar about how exciting it is, how great it is, what they're learning, what they're getting, what the offers are, etc. And they can share that into social media in real time from the webinar system itself. Now, what we're doing with this is we're going to put a one-time price on this, and it's a lifetime offer, okay? It's just $297 for lifetime. This is for the full version of HQ Webinar, one-time cost, lifetime. Okay, now when this was in a launch, I did buy 500 reseller licenses. That allows me to sell this to 500 people only, and we have got some demand already from my own email list from some promotion that I told them about was coming up. So I know that there's going to be a whole bunch of people from there who just want to pay one time. They understand that to buy this is going to give them a lifetime membership, and they never ever have to pay monthly. They will never ever have any restrictions on the amount of attendees that can turn up on a webinar, and they can use the webinar as a marketer with marketing elements, because it's been built by marketers for marketers, and that means that you can go and make money. You can actually build a whole business around running webinars, and we've done very successful webinars with people who had first-time products as well, not always just the big names. We've had new people come in who have done the very first product, but because the product was so good and the delivery was actually really good, some of them, we've done multiple thousands of pounds in commissions from doing that. And all it took was to be able to set up the webinar, which is about 10 minutes to set it up, invite as many people as you can to get in there, and when you have got the replay, then to share that replay on social media, to do some email marketing. You can run some $5 a day ads and just let it run evergreen for as long as you like, and it will just keep bringing you in commissions long term. This is a great system. It's a very well put together system. It's on the 2.0 version. It's here to stay. It's really easy to use. It never crashes, and it's one-time cost. You never have to pay for recurring costs ever again, and you're getting the full version with this. Okay, some people might be selling the front-end version with an upsell for the commercial license and some other features. You're getting the full version here, and if you want to do some training and charge people to see your training, you can do that as well. You can do that from in here as well. You can have some pre-recorded training, put it on a video, set it up as a webinar, as a pre-recorded webinar in here, and what you can do is you can charge them, make them pay via PayPal to attend your training, whatever you're charging them. If it's $27, $47, $67 to watch your webinar or to watch your training, that's what you can charge. Okay, and you can have all that set up on autopilot to deliver cash into your PayPal as and when people come in to wherever you are promoting your webinar or your course or whatever it's going to be. Okay, fantastic offer, one-time cost $297, and I expect that these licenses will go very fast, because I know that we've got a whole bunch of people that are looking to get in on this from my own list, plus we've got a couple of top affiliates with big email lists promoting this to their lists as well. Thank you.